Supply chain is a word that's been around for 30 or 40 years. And lots of people have different definitions of it. Some believe that it's simply trucks and warehouses. Most today take a much more expansive view, which is the way we at KPMG think about it. To us, supply chain starts with product design, and in particular the architecture of the product. You know, it's not the innovation and creativity end of the all-new product, but it's looking at a product and saying, hey, if I'm going to evolve this, my suppliers can be making millions of the same things instead of tens of thousands of those things. And as a result, we become much more cost-effective to the consumer. We can offer a lot more variety to the consumer.
In most of our industrial markets businesses, supply chain is absolutely central to making those businesses work and work well. There's been a lot of new improvements in terms of technology, actually business models, and globalization that present some very interesting challenges.
We saw things like tsunamis, which had incredibly negative impacts on the supply chain. And companies started to ask themselves, how do I de-risk the supply chain? I have this long, complex, unwieldy supply chain that kind of stretches like a snake throughout the world. I think there's some things I could do to reduce that risk, and one of the things would be to produce the product closer to the end market. Don't have your product or your components go halfway around the world, just ultimately get to the customer in the U.S.
"15 years ago, there was so much difference in wage rates between China and the rest of the world that people could think about creating a factory to the world. That doesn't work today. China has grown so much, and so much manufacturing has gone to China that the wages have inflated. And so today, if you look on a productivity adjusted basis, wages are pretty flat around the world. I can't afford to ship product from China to large markets in North America, large markets in Europe. So what manufacturers are realizing is they need to create manufacturing close to where the rich markets are. So they're redefining their China manufacturing and supply base to serve the China market and the Southeast Asia markets. They then have to come back and reinvest in North America and Europe in order to effectively service those markets.
Clients need a strategy, but they also need an execution plan that gets them from an approach to all the way through to delivery. And so if they are US-based or wanting to begin to sell internationally, there are lots of issues they have to address, whether it's tax status or regulatory issues overseas, establishing local supply chains if there are what are called industrial offsets. And so what we focused on in building an A&D team within the firm, which is led by people with decades of industry experience across various disciplines, is the ability to provide a seamless solution for our clients. One that's not merely, this is a great strategy, go find someone else to help you implement it, but being able to help them every step along the way.